Morning, everybody. Thank you for being with us today. What a great day for New York. Broadway is back. I'm Jano Lieber, the acting chair and CEO of the MTA. I'm with Sarah Meyer, our chief customer officer, and we at the MTA are thrilled to be here with the stars of The Lion King. Stephen Tamor, who plays Mustafa, and I'm Sidi Monye, who plays Rafiki, and our partners at the Broadway League and Disney. For those of us who have been so looking forward to this day, we're here to get you to the theater quickly and safely, whether you're riding the subway, the bus, the Long Island Railroad, or Metro North. Public transportation is the best way to make sure you don't miss the opening curtain. It's faster, it's safer, it's cheaper, and it's greener than taking a car. And our mass transit system is more accessible than ever before. No matter where you want to go, the MTA is ready to help you take advantage of everything our amazing, amazing city has to offer. We've teamed up with our friends at The Lion King to produce subway announcements that are part of our Welcome Back New York campaign. You can now hear these PSAs on a variety of subway lines, so don't be surprised when you hear that amazing call from the beginning of The Lion King on your subway. But our campaign is about more than just ads and station announcements. We're doing everything possible to make the system the most attractive transportation option out there for New Yorkers. Throughout COVID, we upped cleaning and made a ton of capital improvements. Remember, just last week, we reopened a brand new 42nd Street shuttle. And we're working with new ticket options. Off-peak fares are continuing on Metro North and Long Island Railroad through the end of this year, which means big savings for our commuter riders, up to 40% over the normal price, depending on the distance traveled. And then we have autumn weekend specials and Friends and Family Wednesdays, when monthly ticket holders can bring up to 4 people for just $1 each. That's an amazing, amazing value. It's all a great deal for customers who are looking to take in a Wednesday matinee. And for our New Yorkers, we are expanding the Fair Fares campaign to make sure we have more equity, more opportunity for low-income New Yorkers to participate in mass transit and have access to culture as well as to schools and to jobs. So give us a chance. Give mass transit a chance. Take the train or the bus or the Long Island Railroad or Metro North to your first show back to Broadway. Come back. Welcome back, New York. Let me turn it over to my partner, Chief Customer Officer, Sarah Meyer. Sarah?
Thanks, Jano. Welcome back, Broadway. We can't wait to carry New Yorkers and tourists back, especially with the reopening of the brand new Times Square shuttle. So what better way to kick things off than to stand with the stars of the iconic Lion King musical, the 3rd longest running show in Broadway history. I'd like to introduce Stephen Taylor, who is the voice waking up New Yorkers all over New York today. You can hear the announcements all across the subway stations this week. I'd also like to welcome Sidi Monye, who's here, and to thank them so much. You know, I remember seeing this show and the shock and awe of the actors and actresses coming down the aisles, and I just can't wait for the rest of New York to experience it. You'll be coming back also to a much improved MTA. We've done a lot of work throughout the pandemic, keeping trains and keeping our stations cleaned 24/7. It's cleaner than ever before, as you guys know, and we're continuing to do as much as we can to make our commutes faster and safer for everyone. I'll remind everyone that masks are still required indoors on all of our trains and buses, and looking forward to seeing everybody back on trains soon. With that, I'll turn it over to Charlotte St. Martin, president of the Broadway League.
Thank you. And it's so great to be here with leadership from the MTA. Do you know that 62% of New Yorkers arrive for the theater on the subway? And I know you love that statistic. Welcome back. Today is a phenomenal day for Broadway because when Broadway returns, New York returns, and the 97,000 workers that Broadway is either directly hiring or hiring are getting back to work, and that's what we all want for our city. Tonight we have 5 openings. Through the end of the year, we have 35 shows that will be back on the stage with the lights bright. So please get your tickets and come to Broadway. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Andrew Flatt from Disney Theatrical. I know it's a big, busy day here on Broadway and in the city generally, so I'll be quick. I just wanted to acknowledge the MTA and give them thanks for participating with Disney on this first ever collaboration to have the sounds of The Lion King throughout New York City subway stations and on subway platforms. We couldn't be more proud to be part of this effort to bring Broadway back. I'd also like to thank the MTA for not only participating with us in this partnership, but for all of the hard work that they're doing to keep New York City moving forward. So thank you so much for that. Allow me also to thank the entire cast of The Lion King, and especially my friends who are here with us today, Elle, Stephen, and Ceedee. This is a huge day for them. We are so proud of everything that The Lion King represents and the hard work that they've done to make tonight possible. So congratulations and enjoy that this evening. And finally, I'd like to thank everyone in New York City for supporting the Broadway industry in the past, certainly in the present, and into the future. Theater cannot happen without an audience, and we are deeply dependent on New York City continuing to bring us back. New Yorkers came to see Broadway immediately after the tragic events of September 11th, and I know that they will come to Broadway once again to help us recover after this pandemic. So the time is now, and as Rafiki would say, it is time. It's time to come back to Broadway to see The Lion King. We welcome you back with open hearts. Let's go see a show. Thank you very much.
The Lion King on Broadway welcomes back New York City. It's great to see you again.
How great is that? We've had Aquafina, we've had Rosie Perez. We get great announcements on the subway in addition to what our conductors do and our everyday personnel who have been so heroically carrying New York forward. But they brought us to this point where we can say in Times Square, looking around at the activity, welcome back New York. New York is coming back and the MTA is here and we're ready. Come back to the MTA. So with that, I'm ready to take some questions. Okay. Okay. Go. Tim, they're asking us to bring the I think what we can give you is the subway announcement. What you can hear has got the call. Okay. Questions? Well, crime overall in the subway system is down, as it's down in the city, and we're having success working with the NYPD. The partnership with the NYPD is stronger than ever. Crime is down overall, and we're also partnering on working on making sure we have increase our already high mask compliance in the subway system. So things are headed in the right direction, and today is evidence of that. We see all around us, New York is back to life. The subways are back to life. Welcome back, New York.
Other questions? All right, Marcia would like to celebrate the rejoicing in New York.
saying in federal, but just moments ago, there was an announcement on your website that said, expect delays on the C trains in both directions and running as much service as we can with the train crews we have available. This has become the norm in Detroit, not just the C trains, but all the lines because of crew shortages. With Broadway coming back, and also with New York City employees coming back, what can we promise them about what they can expect when they take the trains, when there's those playful delays and crew shortages?
So, Marcia, I just want to, correct the record. We're running, we are scheduled 100% of service for what is right now about 50% of our former ridership. So we need to be clear. Even when we have a little bit of shortage of crews, and it's been small, even if we're running 95, 96% of service as we have been, it's for 50% of the ridership. So I think that New Yorkers can expect generally that they're going to have an uncrowded subway ride, and we have been able to provide a tremendous level of service right throughout COVID, but right now. Now, we have obviously, like the whole economy, we've got some challenges with staff shortages. It's no secret to anybody in New York that there have been staff shortages, and the MTA is no different. We are attacking that issue. We were unable to hire during COVID because we didn't know whether we were going to get any money from Washington. We did, and now we're hiring like crazy. We have doubled the size of our training classes. We've increased the numbers of training locations, and we're doing a ton of other things to make sure that we can staff the subways right now. We've provided vacation buyouts to the conductors and the train operators and the bus operators who are key. So we're trying to make sure with overtime and otherwise that we're providing the maximum amount of service. So service has been pretty good, and we're going to make sure it continues to get better.
More people available to take the subways. With New York City employees coming back to work and having to work in their offices. With more people, you're saying,
Yeah.
taking the train to Broadway. So that 50% of ridership should increase.
Absolutely.
Are you going to have the staff and the train and the availability of buses and subways and the railroad in order to meet that demand?
Absolutely, and I just asked New Yorkers who haven't been riding the subway or the buses or commuter rails, come try it, because what you're going to find is it's a little less crowded and there's a lot of service, and it's a great experience. So come on back, welcome back. Okay.
Hey, how's it going, sir? Thank you. So there's an article about New York City eight different subway lines. So clearly has been an issue throughout the whole pandemic. Now they're saying up 45% in these areas. Can you comment on that? And another question.
Sure. The overall homelessness in the subway system is down. At the beginning of COVID, we saw a lot of people, maybe because they were concerned about being in shelters or otherwise, using the subway system as shelter. That's not happening now. What we do is that we collect data on where homeless are located. And unsurprisingly, they're in the same area, the heavy volume stations where New Yorkers are growing in numbers. So they tend to be in some of these big hub stations. We develop that information so we can share it with our partners at the city government, who really are the ones who deal with the homelessness issue as a social issue, make sure these people get services, they get shelter, they get help. And we provide that data. It shows overall homelessness is down, but it also allows the city to focus its effort on a couple of major locations, and we're glad that we're able to provide that data to them. What overall, I think the point is that at a couple locations, the homeless is concentrated in numbers, but the big picture is homelessness in the subway system is way down over where it was. That's good news. This data allows the city to focus its efforts.
40% transit workers may be unvaccinated. You guys are talking about stripping away their $500,000 pandemic death benefit. What can you comment on that? What do you have to say about that?
Well, the main thing is that we think we're upwards of 70% of our workforce is vaccinated. It's not really all that different than the population at large. We've got an amazing effort to provide vaccination opportunities for our workforce, a lot of different locations, but where those who aren't vaccinated, there's testing at their work site. So we're doing everything we can to make sure that maximum vaccination, and we're going to continue to encourage and press and try to educate folks. But even for the folks who are unvaccinated, we're going to make sure they're safe by having testing at all these MTA work sites.
Hi, Jano. Would you be able to give us sort of a snapshot of yesterday's ridership on the subways and the commuter lines with schools back and municipal employees back?
You know, can I give you an IOU? I got about 2 hours from now, I'm going to have those numbers. I would just say, at this point, we believe that yesterday was an uptick, and we're going to get the exact numbers in literally in a couple hours.
And do you expect it to stay that way?
Oh yeah, you can feel it when you get on the trains. I mean, we all ride regularly. The trains are showing, numbers are going up. The commuter hubs are showing, numbers are going up. The commuter railroads numbers have moved quickly. Even with the Jewish holiday, the commuter railroad numbers moved last week in a significant way. So we're starting to see what we all anticipated, a significant uptick in ridership, economic activity, and commuting activity since Labor Day. And, you know, New York is back. On just one other point is last Friday was the #1 day since the pandemic, and we think that yesterday was an uptick from there. We're going to know those numbers in 2 hours. Marcia.
Conductor class yesterday.
Yes.
I wonder how that will affect the ability for you to staff the train. I think you need to have more effective.
Marcia, we're running classes for train operators and bus operators and conductors in numbers every month. So as I said, we've doubled the size of those training classes. We've compressed the period of training so that people can get trained more quickly and can get out on the roads and on the trains more quickly. We've added trainers, we've got more training locations. We're attacking the issue. But as I said, the bottom line is we're running 95 to 100% of pre-COVID service for roughly 50% of the passengers. We can do this together. New Yorkers can get where they want to go fast, safely, in a green way if they take the subway, the bus, or the commuter rails. Okay, all right.
The Lion King on Broadway welcomes back New York City. It's great to see you again.